Hey everybody, this is Felicia with The Book is Done. I am coming to you. I just finished a book that I had mentioned yesterday in my video that I was in the process of reading. This one is called Intrusive Thoughts and Other Dark and Unusual Tales by Jennifer Osborn. Trying to think, I think this is the second book that I read of hers. The first book that I read of hers was an arc that I put on here. I want to say maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and I want to say it was called Moribund or something like that. That little short story was heavy. Oh, it was heavy. In a good way, but it was heavy. This book right here, and please excuse my attire, I don't feel good. Found out today that I just not feeling good. So, I was like, okay, well, let me just read this book. It's a short book, 202 pages. Let's just knock it out. Man, listen, let me tell you something. I gotta stop reading like these little horror books. I feel like I need something. I need like a feel-good Christmas book. I need another Richard Paul Evans book in my life or something. Cause yeah, it's pretty intense. I am not a horror person. Horror is not my jam. I can do some mystery. I can do a thriller, but horror is not it. It's not it for me. And so this book, it has a few short stories. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I was going to say, if it said it in the beginning, it's 13 short stories. They were not as scary as Don't Look, Just Run that I did the other day. But it was enough to, have you, just look and be like, okay, all right. I did read it at night, like tonight, and so it wasn't as bad. It was a few where it was kind of interesting. One is called The Dentist, and as I read some of these books, like, it had me to realize that there are legit, like, some people who they've gone through life, and some of the experiences that they have lived through are not the greatest. And with the dentist, I'll just give you a rundown. It was this man who had lived, not to say like this picture perfect life, but single man, dentist in this small town, been at everybody's dentist, I think, for like 30, 40 years or something like that. And he was saying it started off in him doing a tooth extraction of this other man. And excuse me, I'm going to go to bed. But a tooth extraction, and he had to extract 2 teeth. And he did it, no problem. I didn't think anything of it. So he put the 2 teeth in a jar. Again, didn't think anything of it because I'm thinking like he's getting ready to dispose of it. I don't know. So then it said that he visits his parents every weekend. So he was on a way to visit his parents. And so something told me like his parents were dead, right? So he goes in the house smells horrible, and he has the jar, like as he's driving to his parents' house, he has a jar of the 2 teeth riding in the front seat as if it was like a person. So I'm just like, okay, something ain't right. Something ain't right. So he walks into the house, and it's like this rancid smell. Again, I knew the parents were dead. I just didn't know where they were. He was like, Mom, Dad, I'm home. Silence, because they dead. And so he walks in, and I want to say he goes down to the basement. And his parents were there, and they were dead. They were sitting in these chairs. I can't remember if they were tied up or not, But he legit killed them like 2 weeks ago. Like their flesh, it was maggot. I think he said it was like maggots in his mom's cheek, that had started to eat away at her face, and like he could see the teeth on her side. Don't you know he took those two teeth from that man and put one in his mama's mouth and one in his dad's mouth, talking about perfect fit. Listen, listen, listen. So I was like, okay, cool, 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 cool. And then he said that he killed his parents. I forgot what the reason was, but he killed them. I want to say it was like a overdose of like nitrous oxide. I want to say it's like laughing gas, but it was something as to where it killed both of them. So in all things, that was one story. The other one is called the Fun House. Listen, listen. Let me tell you something. Ever since I read The Fun House by Dean Koontz a few months ago, baby, listen, I haven't looked at the fair in the same way since. Um, Dean Koontz just, that book messed me up so bad, y'all. Like, just when it comes to like the fair, I want to say what Funhouse, it was a circus, and I mean it was a good story. It was a good legit story, but baby, when traveling circuses and all that and fairs, I want to say it was a fair, and yeah, so so these young boys, I want to say they were like 12 or 16. They were young boys, look, young teenagers, and so they 14, I believe, said that this is called Funhouse. So said that their parents, they were old enough to finally go to the fair by themselves, and so I forgot the little boy name, Kyle. Kyle was the one that was just, he was the one that got them both killed. And so they were at the fair. They started out. One of the boys was eating a corn dog, and the other one, Kyle, was just like, "Hey, let's go and let's see what else is out here." So the other young boy, he just wanted to go ride some rides, eat some more food. I mean, you're at the fair, get it. So Kyle sees this house that they hadn't noticed before, and they noticed fog coming from under the front door. Why? Why do you need adventure like that? I don't understand. Why you need adventure like that? Why you going in the house? Wasn't no line. Wasn't nobody taking no tickets. They didn't see nobody in the house. What you going to the house for? But I digress. I'm having these little conversations in my head like, these people crazy. They finna get killed. Sure enough, they go into the fun house, and like all they see, you could only go right. You couldn't go left. And so they're going into this room. It's like a maze, a room of window mirrors. And Kyle, he was like, I want to say his name was Benny. I can't remember. But he turned around and he was just like, Benny was like, hey, man, let's go. This ain't it. I just want to ride the rides. Kyle was like, man, don't be a punk, man. Just come on, let's go. We already in here. Ain't nobody here. Let's go. It's a free for all. So they get in the house. Kyle, being fast, went ahead, and all of a sudden, he goes through this door, and it's like a room full of fog. He instantly feels something in his neck. Next thing you know, he falls into blackness. So the other little boy name, hold on, I'm gonna find out for you because I feel bad calling this boy a little boy. So the name Josh. So Josh was the smart one, but he didn't want to be picked on, or the butt of everybody's jokes, because he knew Kyle was going to tell on him if he punked at him in his house. So now he in the house, he can't find Kyle, and Josh was like, hey, this ain't funny. This isn't funny no more. I'm ready to go. You can't go back out the house. All of a sudden, lights go out, bruh. What? You shouldn't be in there in the first place. I ain't trying to be fun, okay? I am that friend where you touch me, I'm out. You understand? I'm all about, the little thrill and stuff. But I ain't finna go in no haunted house. I ain't finna go in no corn maze. I ain't finna go in no maze. I ain't finna do none of that. First of all, I'll go to the fair. I'll go to the fair all day. I'll eat all the food, okay? During the day. I don't go nowhere at night. I barely go to the grocery store. Laugh at me all you want. I don't care. Hey, the fair at night? No, 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 no. I think last time I did that, I want to say I was like a junior in high school, and my family went, like a whole gang of us went. We were all cool, and our families knew each other. And man, they had me go up in this doggone haunted house. Now, mind you, I'm like 5'3". I'm the shortest one of the whole group. Everybody like 5'7", 5'8". We going with football players. Like, we all cool. So we were all in a chorus together. So I mean, it was cool. So I'm 5'3". We got people in there that's like 6'1", 6'4". My younger brother at the time surpassed me. He grew like a foot in a year, so he was like 6 feet. How we going inside this little haunted house? Now, mind you, it's the fair. It's well lit. You know what I mean? And it's like 10 of us. They could only let 10 of us in the house. And they said, just go through the house, stay together, nobody can touch you. But, you know, they'll come out and scare you. So we was like, man, we ain't no punk. We finna go in here. Man, how I end up at the back of the line, though? The shortest one. Hey, how I'm at the back of the line? Man, them jokers came out and baby was out the door. I was out the door like, hey, they touch me, I'm gonna burn this place to the ground. Like, don't touch me. Man, listen, they laughed at me. I ain't care. I had my life. Ain't that, hey, you can never be sure these people crazy when it comes to the fair. And I mean, a good bit of it is legit. Reading books will mess you up. You understand? It'll mess you up. And so, the fun house, both of the little boys ended up dead. I just, I can't. Um, it was another one, and I'm not gonna give all of these away, but some of them, you know, it was very interesting, you know, getting on a flight called Flight 622, and this gentleman, he gets on a flight, not to say he's like a loner, but he likes to travel by himself. He lives in LA. He had gotten a call. He's the oldest of three. He had gotten a call from the mom saying that she wasn't feeling well. So he was like, you know what, I'm going home. Like, my younger brother and or what is it? No, yeah, his younger brother and sister, they were too busy living their lives. And so, you know, he's the oldest. He went and go and check up on his mom. Or that's where he's supposed to go. So he's at the airport, excuse me, and they're calling for the flight. He gets on, and this woman next to him, I want to say her name is Alex, and he was like, that's my flight. She said, that's my flight too. So he gets on the plane. He has a window seat. He's all the way towards the back of the plane. So he was like, man, listen, I just want my music and I just want to read a book. I don't want to go because his home is like in the Midwest. He was like, I just want to go make sure my mama's straight and come back. Man, he put them headphones on. He's looking at the flight attendants. They doing the instructions, you know. Look at the, you know, look. That's where the little thing drops off. You need your mask, all this kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden, the flight attendant that's close to him, she started twitching. She started twitching. So he was just like, okay, all right. You all right? So he listened to his music. Then all of a sudden, she started twitching. Her body, her neck is like at a weird angle. Her leg was at a weird angle. And then it was like she didn't blink. She just stood there like she was a mannequin. And people are like, "Are you okay? Like, are you okay?" So she stood there. So he gets up and he's just like, "Okay, are you all right, ma'am?" She don't say anything. She's like straight lethargic, doesn't blink, nothing. So all of a sudden, the pilots didn't say nothing about the plane taking off. All of a sudden, it's a jerk back. The plane like starts to gain speed. He's like, something is not right. So he gets up to the front. The second flight attendant, I don't know, I forgot what was going on with her, but he was like, hey, somebody need to check on the pilots because something, how are we going full speed? Like, nobody The light didn't ding to put your seatbelts on. Like, we just took off. What's happening? So, next thing you know, they in the air. So he gets into the cockpit or whatnot. He sees the two pilots, and they're like in a lethargic state, like they're like zombies or something. And he said their eyes were black or something. I was like, see, that's of the devil. That's why I don't do horror. It's of the devil. Hey, man. Hey, again, if that's your jam, but that ain't mine. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna be a G because I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna read this book. It's been on my bookcase for a year. I'm gonna read the book. So he gets the man. He gets two plastic bags, and in essence, he puts the plastic bags over the pilot's head. And before he did that, there was this scream from this woman, because there was this woman who had like a newborn baby, or like a young baby, like maybe 3-4 months old. And before he walks in the cockpit, she's just like, "Sir, please help me, please help me." Man, he looked back at that woman, and he was like, "For some reason, I know that I have to be the one to land this plane. Like, I have to get us to safety because everybody turned into zombies." Man, he looked back at this woman. The baby's head is gone. Okay, gone. Newborn baby. She holding on to the baby's body, but the head is gone. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, what done happened to the baby? The flight attendant then attacks the woman and just like starts eating the woman, like just chewing on her. So I was like, okay, cool. He goes into the cockpit. Then that's when he puts the bag over the head. And Alex, for some reason, I don't know how she got to the front, but she gets in there and she's just like, "Hey, do you need help? Because do you know what's going on?" So she seemed like she was in her right mind. So he was like, "You're going to have to help me land this plane." She was like, "I don't know how to fly no plane." He was like, "You're going to learn today." And so as he's sitting there, like trying to land the plane, all of a sudden he noticed that she twitching. Yo, baby done turned into a zombie. Next thing you know, he see the room like engulfed. He just see orange, everything in flames. So they crash, and then he is impaled. Like, I think like a piece of metal or something from the plane was like sticking out through his legs, so he couldn't get up. So all of a sudden, everybody that was on the plane done turned into zombies. And then I guess they noticed that he was still the normal one that wasn't affected. Next thing you know, they approaching him and they kill him by eating him. Y'all listen. I think from here on out, hey man, I don't know if I can read any more horror I Told a Story, because there is one that I want to read. It's like a collection of short stories. It's by Devin Carbonara or something like that. I have it as a Kindle. And I was like, oh, that'll be perfect for Halloween. Man, listen, I'm gonna have to read that later on in the month. I'm gonna have to read me some feel good books or something. So one book that I am, about a fourth through, is the first that I've read of hers, My Husband's Wife, by Anya Mora. And she got some really good books out there. I have a lot on my Kindle wish list. I have a book that I was gifted with, her most recent, called either Her Favorite Girl or The Favorite Girl or something like that. And she just made an announcement like a few days ago that that's going to have a sequel. So I got to hurry up and read that. I heard that was good. So I got that. I have this that's been on my nightstand probably for like a month, but I've been reading it. This one, The Girl Who Lied by Shannon Hollinger. I love her. She's amazing. And I think what's taking me a minute to read that book is because that is the first book in the series, and I think she just finished the 5th book. And the first book that I read of hers was the 4th in the series. So it's like, sometimes you can start in the middle of a series and be okay. Just like Harry Potter. I started Harry Potter. I saw the movie before I read the books. And when I started, it was like on the 3rd movie. And then I like went back and saw the first movie. And at the time, the 4th one hadn't been released yet. And I was working in Books A Million. And I was like, what is this greatness? So let me go back and read the books. I've seen all the movies. Let me go read the books. So I'm thinking it's something like that. Man, listen. It's like I know who she's like like the main character. I know who she's currently with because it's book 4. So it's like book 1 is still good. I'm still gonna finish it because Shannon knocks me off my feet every time. But look here, I'm gonna have to read some of these feel good books. Like I said, I'm reading like 8 books at a time at the same time, literally. And so I keep looking. I have 2 Riley Sager books. I got books everywhere, y'all. I have 2 Riley Sager books, Lock Every Door and Final Girls. I have heard that Lock Every Door was really, really good. So I think, I'm gonna play it safe and um, read like Riley Sager books, like stuff that I know is not like horror, but just like a good mystery. Because this horror stuff, hey man, I don't see how y'all do it. This stuff is for the birds. Like, hey, about to start praying and stuff. Like, hey. Call me a scaredy cat. I don't care. But again, if that's your jam, rock out to it. But I did give these books a chance, and so that's something that is good for the Halloween season. Since tomorrow is the first, I didn't realize that this video was about 20 minutes long. My bad. But something that I gifted myself that is coming to me hopefully tomorrow because it's a pre-order. Frida McFadden, The Boyfriend. It is being released tomorrow. Kirsten Modglin's book, I want to say The Hidden One or The Hidden, I forgot what it is. Her book come out tomorrow too. Baby, I had to choose one. I only had a $10 gift card, and so I chose Frida McFadden because I love them both. But Frida, she hadn't had a book out since June, and before that since February. And the next one, called The Crash, is coming out in February. I think just like 2 weeks before my birthday in March. So I was like, you know what? I need a Frida book because a Frida book, depending on how many pages it is, and you know what? I told a story because she came out with the husband's wife's secret lie or something like that. It was like a little booklet, but it was hilarious. That came out, I want to say, like in August. It was amazingness. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a Frida McFadden book. If not tomorrow, Wednesday. And even though I'm sick again, super geeked about it. So y'all will be hearing about that book before the end of the week. But in all things, what time is it? It's 11:23. I'm 2 hours past my bedtime because this medicine is kicking my butt. But I hope that y'all have a super great evening and that more than likely, with one of these 2 books that I just showed you, I will probably finish that book, if not tomorrow, then by Wednesday. Definitely trying to be finished with one, if not both of them, by the time Frida McFadden's book get here. So I hope that y'all have a good evening, and then I will talk to you soon. This is Felicia with The Book Is Done, and I'm out.